A battle of 2-0 teams took place in the Motor City this week. Who was able to come out undefeated, and who was set back a few steps? Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix having won their games last week, and Caleb Williams finally get his first career win in a game against the Rams. And with 3 of the NFC West teams having a 0 in the loss column, did anyone manage to make it onto the top of the division this week? All this and more coming up here on Tecmo Rewind. Hello everyone and welcome to Tecmo Rewind. I'm your host Joe, and before we bring you highlights from around the Tecmo NFL season, I'd like to give out special condolences to those that have been affected by Hurricane Helene over the past few days. I'm sure that if you're watching this by now, you probably have electricity or some sort of phone signal. And if you are one that is suffering from either property damage or injured or lost loved ones, I send out my sincere condolences. We here at SVGN care about all of our viewers, be they first-time viewers or those who've been watching us since the beginning. And whenever a natural disaster like this happens, it's always a tragedy. And we're always hoping that human lives are, at the very least, safe. And if they aren't, that the families that have lost those lives can hopefully be able to grieve and recover from those that they've lost. So, I'd like to give a moment of silence to those lost by Hurricane Helene from the past weekend. Thank you. And now we get on to the fun stuff. Sorry about the seriousness, but, we care about people here. And we're going to start our highlights of this week in Indianapolis. The Colts hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Anthony Gould making a return for the Colts after being on injury. First quarter, third down for the Steelers. Wilson dropping back and looking and waiting patiently before throwing to his right for Pat Freiermuth. Unfortunately, he finds Juju Brents at the Colts. So, Colts on their first possession. Richardson going to toss this one to Jonathan Taylor. This man is a beast of a running back. You cannot stop him, even if you try to. He's going to score this touchdown, make it 7-0 Indianapolis. Next possession for the Colts after the Steelers punt. Jonathan Taylor gets it again. Last time it was a 45-yard touchdown run. This time it's a 44-yard touchdown run. Puts the Colts up 14-0. On the Steelers' next drive, going into the second quarter, Wilson going to get sacked by Grover Stewart, sending him back 6 yards. A couple plays after, though, Wilson going to play action, look and wait and throw for George Pickens, and Pickens dives into Indianapolis territory, gets taken down at about the 32.5. A couple plays after that, Wilson dropping back while in shotgun, tries to run forward. This time, Grover Stewart there yet again for another 6-yard sack. That'll help to set up this Chris Boswell 37-yard field goal to make it 14-3. Steelers still need some help on this one. A couple plays led into the Colts' next drive. Richardson going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Cameron Hayward, sending him back 7 yards. A couple plays after that, Richardson tries to run forward, and he gets wrapped up and found by Patrick Queen. On the very next play, Richardson in shotgun formation tries to run forward, but this time Landon Roberts sends him back 2 yards. Third quarter, Wilson dropping, looking, throws for George Pickens, who leaps up for this ball. He's got the touchdown. We have a 14-10 game. On the next Colts drive, Richardson dropping back, looking and running forward. He gets found quickly by Alex Highsmith, sending him back 7 yards. A couple plays afterwards, Richardson going to get the ball and runs with it. He fumbles the ball, but it bounces right into the arms of Quentin Nelson, who takes it forward another 5 yards, but the Colts will be forced to punt. Next Steelers possession, a throw for Van Jefferson, who's going to take this one into Colts territory, but he fumbles the ball too, and it's Julian Blackmon who recovers for Indianapolis. He's sending it back the other way before he's finally taken down after a 30-yard recovery. That would help to set up Richardson in good field possession for the Colts. A 7-yard touchdown pass to Josh Downs makes this 21-10. Next Steelers possession, Wilson Gonna find someone. Gonna throw for Van Jefferson. Unfortunately, he found Juju Brents yet again, and Juju not going to be as easy to take down this time. He takes it back 15 yards the other way. Fourth quarter, Richardson going to hand this one off to Jonathan Taylor. This man is not able to be stopped at all. That's a 22-yard touchdown run, makes it 28-10. On the ensuing kick return, Cordero Patterson, he's going to be up and running, going to take this one 31 yards. They drive down the field some more, and Wilson going to look and throw for Pat Frymuth over the middle. A nice little lobbing pass, makes a touchdown, 28-17. Richardson going to run forward on his next drive. Patrick Queen going to send it back 2 yards. They'd be forced to punt. Next Pittsburgh drive, Wilson going to run forward, and Grover Stewart there to take him down, sends it back 8 yards. Very next play, Wilson needs something good. Otherwise, this game will be over. He's going to throw for Najee Harris, and unfortunately, he found Jalen Jones, who takes it back the other way 13 yards. And Anthony Richardson and the Colts going to come away with a victory here. They're just going to tack it on here. Going to throw for Josh Downs. Downs going to zig and zag around the team's defenses. That's a 23-yard touchdown, 35-17. Colts come away with the victory, and they improve to 3-0. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh drops to 1-2, and they get Dallas next week. Now we go out west, where the 49ers were playing host to the Denver Broncos. First quarter, 49ers drive down the field, and Brock Purdy just going to look and find a very wide open Brandon Ayuk, who's right outside the end zone. This time he just waltzes in for the touchdown. It's 7-0. 49ers get on the board first. First possession for the Broncos. Bo Nix going to throw for Cortland Sutton, and Sutton is going to take this one into San Francisco territory for a 48-yard gain. That'll help to set up this 3rd and 9 for the Denver Broncos. Nix dropping back, all kinds of protection thanks to his offensive line. Gets one off in time from Marvin Mims Jr., who leaps into the end zone for the catch. Ties this game up at 7. Second quarter, Nix going to play action. Gets it off in time for a throw for Cortland Sutton. He gets the touchdown in the second quarter, 14-7 Denver. On the next drive for the 49ers, Purdy going to get wrapped up and taken down by Alex Singleton, sending him back 11 yards. Very next play, though, Purdy says, don't worry about it. Offensive line says, you got plenty of time. Throw for Brandon Ayuk is good, and he is going to just run right in for the end zone directly. No one in front of him to stop him. We're tied up at 14. First play of the ensuing drive. Nick's going to get taken down by Fred Warner, sending him back 7 yards. They'd be forced to punt. Next 49ers drive. Purdy going to try and run forward. He's taken down at midfield by Alex Singleton, sending him back 10 yards. A couple plays after, Purdy going to try and run forward, and who else but Alex Singleton there to take him down and send it back 3 yards in again. 49ers would punt. Next possession for the Broncos. Nix, play action, going to throw to his right for Josh Reynolds, who's got the touchdown. It's 21-14. Next drive for the Broncos near the end of the second quarter. Nix trying to run forward, gets wrapped up, taken down by Leonard Floyd, sends him back 5 yards. Third quarter, 49ers would drive down the field, not able to score a touchdown, but Jake Moody got to kick a 33-yarder and makes it 21-17. On the kickoff right after that, Marvin Mims Jr. going to take this one out to about the 19, and unfortunately he is hurt. That was a 15-yard turn. That was a 15-yard return. Troy Franklin is going to come in at wide receiver. Jaleel McLaughlin will replace him at return man. A few plays into the drive. Nix dropping back, going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Malik Collins, who gets the sack, sending him at 7 yards. They'd be forced to punt. Next 49ers possession. Purdy going to throw for Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk avoids one tackle, and he is still going. Can he? Could he? Will he? No, he's going to get tripped up by his ankles. Ball bouncing around. Who's going to get it? It's the Broncos and Patrick Surtain. He tries fighting for more yardage after that fumble recovery to make it a 16-yard return. They drive down the field some more. Will Lutz going to have to kick the 49-yard field goal. 24-17 Denver. Next San Francisco possession. Purdy in shotgun formation. It's fourth down, by the way. A throw for Kyle Juszczyk not able to come up with it. P.J. Locke gets the pick on the very next play. Nick's going to try and run forward. Javon Hargraves takes him down, sending him back 8 yards. A couple plays after that, Nick's dropping back and trying to run forward yet again. This time it's Malik Collins with the sack, sending him back 5 yards. They'd be forced to punt. Next 49ers possession. Purdy throws for Deebo Samuel. Samuel leaping up to grab it. He's going to get into Denver territory, and he is going to get taken down at about the 28-yard line, a 46-yard pass. A couple plays after that, Purdy going to look and throw for George Kittle over the middle for the touchdown. Tie game at 24, but the 49ers will get the ball, and Christian McCaffrey punches in for 1-yard touchdown. It's 31-24, less than a minute to go. Bo Nix throwing for Cortland Sutton, who leaps up for this one. He's into San Francisco territory, but he's taken down at about the 38. Very next play after that, they got less than 30 seconds to go. Nix gonna throw for Sutton. He's not able to come up with it. 2nd and 10. 15 seconds to go. Nix hands it off to Williams, who's not able to get very far. He only gets forward 3 yards. 5 seconds. Gonna hand it off to Williams yet again. He's dodging and weaving, but the 49ers defense stops him. 31-24. San Francisco with a huge victory, a very close one. They go to 3-0 and take on the Cardinals next week. Broncos drop to 1-2, and they got to take on Vegas. Meanwhile, the Eagles want revenge on the Buccaneers after the wildcard game last year. First quarter, Hurts going to get wrapped up and taken down by Vita Vea, sending him back 9 yards. They drive down the field some more, though, and Hurts going to drop back. Barely in time, getting off a pass to Dallas Goedert for a touchdown. Makes it 7-0, but the Buccaneers on their next drive, Mayfield in shotgun formation, going to throw for Chris Godwin, and Godwin's going to take this in for a touchdown. Ties this game up at 7. Next, Eagles possession. Hurts dropping back, going to get taken down by Vita Vea, sending him back 8 yards. They drive down the field a little more, but Jake Elliott's got to kick a 49-yard field goal. Makes it 10-7 Philly. Second quarter, Mayfield in shotgun formation, looking and gonna run forward, gets wrapped up, but fighting for every yard he can. Milton Williams is gonna get credited for a 1-yard sack, and the Buccaneers will be forced to punt. So Hurts on their next possession gonna toss it to Saquon Barkley, and Barkley gonna take this one in for a 26-yard touchdown, 17-7 thanks to Saquon. Next drive for the Buccaneers, Mayfield dropping back, looking and throwing for Mike Evans, who's got this one pretty deep, 44-yarder. Before he gets into a goal-to-go situation. That's all right, because on the very next play, Mayfield dropping back, gonna get it off in time for Mike Evans yet again, this time a 10-yard touchdown, makes it 17-14, but the Eagles still have the lead. On the next Eagles drive, they're in the red zone before Hurts is sacked by Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, so that means they gotta rely on Jake Elliott's leg again. A 30-yard field goal makes this 20-14. First play of the ensuing drive for the Buccaneers. Mayfield in shotgun formation with less than a minute to go in the half. Gonna run forward before he's taken down by Bryce Huff for an 8-yard sack. Very next play, running out of time in the half. Mayfield gets into his own end zone, tries to get out of it, fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Josh Sweat for what is essentially a 0-yard scoop and score in the end zone, 27-14 Eagles. Third quarter, a handoff to Rachaad White becomes a fumble. It goes right into the hands of Cody Mock, the lineman, but they'd be forced to punt. Jake Elliott going to get a field goal on the next drive for the Eagles, makes it 30-14. Ensuing drive, Rocky Irving going to take this one out to about the 17, where he is going to get hurt on this one. A 13-yard kick return, so Sean Tucker is going to come in on kick returns. Very next play, Baker dropping back, going to try and run forward, but Josh Sweat is going to be there to take him down for a 5-yard sack. They'd be forced to punt, and on the punt return, Britton Covey. Britton is going to take this one 34 yards into the Buccaneers territory. He plays after that. Hurts dropping back, looking and throwing for A.J. Brown. He's got no one around him to prevent him from scoring a 46-yard touchdown, 37-14 Eagles. Next drive for the Bucs. Mayfield dropping back, running forward, gonna try and find somebody. Unfortunately, he finds Milton Williams, who takes him down for a 3-yard sack. Very next play, Mayfield dropping back. The defense breaks through. Nakobe Dean with the 8-yard sack on that one. And on the very next play, Chase McLaughlin going to kick a 57-yard field goal. The Buccaneers are down by 20. On first play of the ensuing drive, which is to start the fourth quarter, Hurts going to run forward before he's taken down by Logan Hall for a 6-yard sack. A couple plays after that, Hurts in shotgun formation, going to try and run forward again. This time it's KJ Britt who's going to get credited with the 4-yard sack. So they'd be forced to punt. Next, Buccaneers drive. Mayfield going to get a sack of his own. Jalen Carter going to pick up the 14-yard scoop and score 44-17 Philadelphia. Next drive for the Eagles. Mayfield in shotgun formation. We're now in garbage time. Mayfield going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Nakobe Dean for the sack, sending him back 7 yards. Very next play, Mayfield dropping back, looking. Offensive line gives him plenty of time to find Chris Godwin. Godwin! Can he? Could he? Yes! That's a 50-yard touchdown. Make it 44-24. But the Eagles would drive down the field, and Hurts going to throw this one for Devonta Smith. He's got the touchdown here, 51-24 Eagles. Buccaneers just playing for pride at this point. Mayfield in shotgun formation. Gonna try and throw this one for Chris Godwin, but it's Darius Slay who's got the interception here, sending him back 3 yards. Eagles have all but put this game away. Hurts in shotgun formation, going to throw for A.J. Brown. It's a 4th down, so this is a turnover on downs, but it doesn't matter. The Eagles come away with a very big victory, 51-24. Both teams go to 1-2. The Eagles have a week off before they take on the Browns in Week 6. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers get division rival Atlanta down in Georgia next week. Last time these two teams met, it did not go well for the Cowboys, and now they are looking for revenge against the New York Giants, a team that embarrassed them last season. Darius Slayton making his return from injury. First quarter for the Cowboys. Prescott going to play action, dropping back and throwing quickly for Brandon Cooks, who leaps up to grab this catch, and he's going to take it all the way to about the 31. That's pretty dang good. A couple plays after that, Prescott going to play action. Look, wait, who's he going to find? Ezekiel Elliott, the same man he play action to. That's a touchdown to make it 7-0 Cowboys. Next Giants possession, the first one for the game for them. Jones going to try and run forward, but Damone Clark going to sack him. A couple plays after that, Jones in shotgun formation. He's going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by DeMarcus Lawrence, setting him back a little bit more. 3rd and 15, Daniel Jones dropping back. Offensive line giving him plenty of protection. This time, Malik Neighbors going to leap up to grab this one as he gets it into Cowboys territory to about the 34. A few plays after that, Jones dropping back. Going to try and move forward to get a better view of things, but he's wrapped up and taken down by Damone Clark yet again. So that means they got to rely on Graham Gano's leg. Kick on the way. It's 7-3 Cowboys. On the next drive for the Cowboys, they punt. So on the next drive for the Giants, Daniel Jones just runs it in himself. Makes it 10-7. Giants take the lead. On the next drive for the Giants, after the Cowboys punt yet again, Daniel Jones going to look and throw for Wan'Dale Robinson, who is already in Cowboys territory and gets into the red zone before he's taken down about the 10, but he fumbles the ball. It bounces around before it's recovered by Donovan Wilson of the Cowboys, and he's taking it back the other way. He gets to about his own 37, 38, roughly. Very first play after this happened, Prescott in shotgun formation, going to try and run forward, but they had a spy ready for him in case he tried to do that before he's taken down by Drew Phillips. Very next play, Prescott in shotgun, going to try and run forward, but the offensive line unable to hold back the likes of Raheem Nunez-Roches. So the Cowboys would punt. Next Giants possession, a throw for Darius Slayton is instead picked off by Trayvon Diggs. He gets taken out around the 50-yard line. A couple plays after that, Prescott going to play action, drop back, throw for Brandon Cooks, who leaps up for the catch. Touchdown Cowboys, makes it 14-10. Next Giants possession, a quick throw for Daniel Bellinger is instead intercepted by rookie Kalen Carson. 40 seconds left before halftime. Cowboys have driven down the field. Prescott going to try and run forward, but Dexter Lawrence takes down Dak Prescott, so they got to rely on Brandon Aubrey's leg. He kicks a field goal to make it 17-10 Dallas. Third quarter, Cowboys got the ball after Giants punt. Prescott going to try and run forward with it. Gets to run forward, throw for Brandon Cooks. He's wide open. He's got the touchdown here, right? Yes, he does. That's a touchdown for Dallas. Makes it 24-10. On the next Giants drive, Damone Clark gets to Daniel Jones for a sack. Forces the Giants to punt. Then Dak going to play action. It works as he throws for Brandon Cooks, who leaps up to grab this very good-looking catch. And Brandon Cooks going to take this one to about the 29 before he's finally stopped. On a 2nd and long, Prescott going to play action. Plenty of time. Who's he going to look for? You know who it is. CeeDee Lamb. He's got the touchdown, 31-10 Dallas. One more play before the end of the third quarter. Daniel Jones going to play action, roll to his left. He's taken down by Donovan Wilson. Fourth quarter. First play of the fourth quarter, actually. Jones going to run forward before he's taken down by Jordan Lewis. Very next play after that, Daniel Jones going to try and run forward, but he's going to bounce off one defender before he's taken down by Damone Clark. So, 4th and 23. Can Daniel Jones convert a 4th and very long? He's going to throw for Malik Neighbors, but he's not able to get the first down. That would have been a first down if it were a 4th and 10. On the Cowboys' next possession after that, Ezekiel Elliott gets the touchdown, 38-10. Next Giants possession, Jones going to get wrapped up as he tries to run forward. Still not getting taken down before Jordan Lewis gets to him and take him down. So, 4th and 12. Jones going to play action. Roll to his left. He's running out of time. Throws for Daniel Bellinger, who can't hold onto it. So it's a turnover on downs yet again. Very first play after that happened. Prescott going to throw for Ezekiel Elliott over the middle. And Ezekiel Elliott, welcome back to Dallas. He's got the touchdown there to make it 45-10. Next drive for the Giants. Daniel Jones, play action, roll to his left. barely gets it on time off, but it's intercepted by Trayvon Diggs yet again. And Diggs going to break all kinds of tackles before he's finally taken down in the red zone. A few plays after that happened. Prescott going to play action, looking, going to fire over the middle for Ezekiel Elliott for the touchdown. So it's 52-10. Jones going to get wrapped up quickly by Damone Clark, who takes him down. A couple plays afterwards, Jones going to try and run forward. He's going to get found, and he's going to fumble it on the strip sack. DeMarcus Lawrence going to try and kick it back the other way. And Dallas avenges their embarrassing loss to the Giants from last season, 52-10. They go to 1-2 and take on Pittsburgh next week. Giants drop to 0-3, and they have to head out west to Seattle. Now for two teams that were not expected to do much this season, but are trending in opposite directions so far. Cleveland Browns in Vegas to take on the Raiders. Tyreek McAllister back on kick and punt returns first quarter. Raiders have a man in motion. Gardner Minshew going to drop back, going to run forward after he drops back. He's met by Myles Garrett, who takes him down for a sack. That forced the Raiders to punt. Next Browns drive, Watson going to play action, roll to his right. He fumbles the ball as he strip sacked, and it's picked up by Divine Diablo, who takes it back for a scoop and score. 7-0 Raiders take the lead. On the next Browns possession, Watson going to play action and roll to his right. That was a bad idea last time. This time it works as he finds Amari Cooper, who gets into Raiders territory and then some as he gets to about the 22-yard line. That'll set him up for a good field position for a Dustin Hopkins field goal to make it 7-3. Raiders still have the lead, but it's still early on. On the next drive for the Raiders, Minshew in shotgun formation, running out of time as Dalvin Tomlinson going to break through. The rest of the defensive line falls behind him, but Tomlinson gets the sack. On 2nd and 17, the play right after that sack happens. A throw for Amir Abdullah is picked off by Thornhill, who's got the touchdown to make it 10-7 on the ensuing kickoff. McAllister, mentioned he came back, and yeah, they really needed him here because he gets to about the 36, maybe 37. Give him some good field position, right? Well, Gardner Minshew going to get sacked by Myles Garrett, so not great. 2nd and 15, which is right after Minshew in shotgun formation. Going to throw for Michael Mayer, but instead he finds Denzel Ward. And on the drive right after, Watson going to run forward, but he's taken down by John Jenkins. Go into the second quarter. Dustin Hopkins going to just settle this one for a field goal, make it 13-7, right? No, it's wide left, so it's still a 3-point lead here. Minshew going to drop back and throw for Devontae Adams, and Adams going to avoid the tackles. He is gone. That makes it 14-10. Raiders! Next drive for the Browns. Deshaun Watson in shotgun formation. Plenty of time, but he's running out of it. A throw for David Njoku, who's got a first down and not able to hold on to it. The Raiders will recover on that first play after that fumble. Minshew going to drop back. He's going to get sacked by Jordan Hicks and the Browns. Very next play, 2nd and 18. Minshew running out of time. Throw for Jacoby Myers. No, that's Denzel Ward again. That's 2 in a row for Denzel Ward now. On the next Browns drive, Watson going to play action, roll to his right, and he will throw for Jerry Jeudy. No one even in his vicinity. That's a touchdown. 17-14 Browns. Next drive for the Raiders, shotgun formation. Minshew going to throw over the middle for Brock Bowers. No, that's Denzel Ward for a third pick. On the next drive for the Browns, Foreman going to get the handoff for the touchdown to make it 24-14 Browns. Next Raiders possession, Minshew in Browns territory. He's going to run forward. Dalvin Tomlinson going to get credited with the sack. 3rd and 7. Minshew dropping back, running out of time. The defense gets to him. Jordan Hicks gets the sack. They'd be forced to punt. Less than a minute to go in the first half. Watson in shotgun formation. Plenty of time. Looking, waiting, gonna throw for Amari Cooper, and Cooper going to take this one into Raiders territory, gets to about the 34, and they'll just settle for Dustin Hopkins before halftime. His kick is going to doink itself in. 27-14, Browns have the lead. Third quarter, Watson in shotgun formation in his own territory. Who's he gonna look for? Jerry Jeudy! Raiders defense will not allow it. Very next play, 1st and 10 for the Browns. Watson going to play action, roll to his right, and he's going to throw for Jerry Jeudy once again. A touchdown for the Browns makes it 34-14. Next Raiders possession. Minshew gonna hand this one off to Amir Abdullah yet again. He's gonna get the first down and more. Amir Abdullah is gonna keep running until he almost gets into Browns territory. Unfortunately, Raiders not able to come up with anything from it. They're forced to punt. Deshaun Watson gonna try and run forward on his next drive, but he's gonna get taken down by Nate Hobbs. Couple plays after that, Watson gonna hand this one off to Deontay Foreman, and he's gonna take this one further than most other Browns running plays have gone so far, but he's gonna fumble the ball. It's gonna bounce around, but fortunately for the Browns, it fumbles out of bounds. Couple plays later, Watson going to hand it off to Foreman yet again. This time he runs up on the far side. He fumbles it yet again though, but again, fortunately, fumbled out of bounds. They keep driving down the field, and Deontay Foreman, this time he will hang on to it as he scores a touchdown to make it 41-14. Next Raiders possession, Minshew dropping back. Not much time. He fumbles the ball, and this time it does not bounce out of bounds. Fortunately, it goes into Michael Mayer's hands, and he's going to get a first down with this fumble as he's taken down around the 41. A few plays later, fourth quarter, Minshew dropping back. Going to try and throw for Devontae Adams. He finds Adams, and Adams, can he score the touchdown? Yes, he will. 41-21. Browns would be forced to punt, and on the next drive, a throw over the middle for Brock Bowers. This time it does connect. He fumbles, but Jacoby Myers there to save the drive for the Vegas Raiders. And Minshew, a couple plays after, throw over the middle for rookie Brock Bowers yet again. This time it's a touchdown, 41-28. But on the Browns' next possession, handoff to Deontay Foreman, and he runs through the defense. That's a touchdown to make it 48-28. So garbage time, right? Minshew not really going to come back, right? Well, Shelby Harris doesn't want to get him come back. That's a sack. The very next play after that, Minshew dropping back, looking, waiting, throwing over the middle for Jacoby Myers. Can he? Could he? Will he? He will not. He's stopped at the 3. And a couple plays after that, Minshew going to hand it off to Amir Abdullah, who runs into the touchdown. But it does not matter. The Browns with a 48-35 victory. They go to an astounding and surprising 3-0 and take on the Commanders next week. Meanwhile, the Raiders drop to 0-3 and they got to take on Denver. Well, while the Browns' success has been a surprise, the underwhelming status of the Chiefs has been a big one for a lot of people. They're hoping to correct the ship as they head to LA to take on the Chargers this week. First quarter, Mahomes in shotgun formation, going to try and run forward, but Morgan Fox gets the sack on him. They drive down the field some more, and Mahomes is going to toss to Isaiah Pacheco for a 6-yard touchdown run to put the Chiefs on the board first 7-0. But on the Chargers' next drive, they would drive down the field, and Herbert going to try and run forward, but Tershawn Wharton will get the sack, so Cameron Dicker's going to try and kick a field goal through, but it's blocked by the Chiefs, and it lands on the ground. It gets picked up by Brian Cook, who starts taking back a little bit the other way. A couple plays after that happens, Mahomes gonna wait patiently and throw for Travis Kelce. Two of them have not been having much success together. He fumbles the ball, but Marquise Hollywood Brown gonna get the scoop and score to make it 14-0 Kansas City. Second quarter, Herbert going to throw for Hayden Hurst, and Hurst is going to be wide open for the touchdown here to make it 14-7. But on the next Chiefs drive, Mahomes dropping back, all kinds of time, throwing for Travis Kelce over the middle. He's got the touchdown there. It's 21-7, Kansas City. On the next drive for the Chargers, Herbert going to throw for the lad, but unfortunately he doesn't find Lad McConkey. He finds Joshua Williams. So the Chiefs' next possession, Mahomes is going to drop back. He's going to then run forward just in time to avoid the sack. He throws it for Rashee Rice, who's going to fumble the ball. It's going to bounce around into the hands of Alohi Gilman, who's taking it back the other way. So the Chargers get another chance. Herbert going to drop back, wall and shotgun. Then he's going to run forward, but Michael Dannon's going to get the sack on him. So they'd be forced to rely on Cameron Dicker's leg. Dicker, the kicker, punts it in through. 21-10, Chiefs still have the lead. Next drive from Mahomes. Possibly the last drive they'll have before halftime. He's going to throw it for the rookie, Xavier Worthy. And Worthy, is he worthy of a touchdown? No, he is stopped, taken down at the 21-yard line. That's all right, because Mahomes going to look and wait. The offensive line giving him some time before he finds Marquise Hollywood Brown for the touchdown. It's 28-10, third quarter. Mahomes dropping back before he gets taken down by Morgan Fox when he tries to run forward to adjust. A couple plays after, Mahomes going to push forward and decides, you know what, I'm taking it myself. He gets the touchdown on that run to make it 35-10 Chiefs. Next Chargers drive. Herbert dropping back, throws for J.K. Dobbins. Oh, that's Joshua Williams who gets the interception. The Chiefs are starting to make the Chargers look silly. They're looking like the 2-0 team right now as Mahomes going to throw for Marquise Hollywood Brown. Dives for it, gets back up, and runs it in for the touchdown. It's 42-10 on the next Chargers drive. Dicker the kicker kicks it. Doinks off the right upright. It's wide right, so that's no good. Morgan Fox is going to get a sack on Mahomes on the next Chiefs drive. They'd be forced to punt. Fourth quarter, Herbert needs to score and score now. He's going to get taken down, though, by Leo Chenal. They'd be forced to punt, but the Chiefs would once again punt right back. Herbert, in desperation mode, going to try and run forward. George Karlaftis gets the sack. They would drive a little bit further forward. It's 4th and 4, and J.K. Dobbins not able to punch it through the defense, so the Chiefs get good field position. A throw for Xavier Worthy is a touchdown. 49-10 Kansas City. On the Chargers' next drive, Herbert looking, throwing for DJ Chark, and Chark, can he? Could he? Will he? He won't. He's short by a yard. On the very next play, Herbert gonna try and throw for the lad McConkey, and he's got the touchdown to make it 49-17 on the next Chiefs drive. Mahomes driving back, tries to move forward. Denzel Perryman breaks through for the sack. On the next drive for the Chargers after the Chiefs punt, Herbert trying to run forward, and he's gonna take it himself, and he's gonna get the first down, but he fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by George Karlaftis, who takes it back the other way. We're in garbage time now. Direct snap to Isaiah Pacheco. Bounces off a defender. He gets the touchdown. It's 56-17. Herbert just playing for pride at this point. Tries to run forward, but he's going to get taken down by Drew Tranquill. And a couple plays later, on 4th down, Herbert going to hand this one off to J.K. Dobbins. Not able to get the first down. The Chiefs finally get their first win of the season, 56-17. They go to 1-2 and take on the Saints next week. Meanwhile, the Chargers, no longer perfect. They get a bye week next week before they have to head to Denver. And now for a recap of our game of the week. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. Christian Kirk making his triumphant return for Jacksonville. First quarter, 1st and 10 for Trevor Lawrence in the first drive for the Jaguars. Lawrence going to get sacked by Mario Edwards, pushing him back a few yards. A couple plays later, Lawrence going to try and run forward. Unfortunately, he's going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Jalen Peter. They'd be forced to punt on the first Texans drive. Stroud going to drop back in the red zone, looking and waiting. Going to throw for Tank Dell for the touchdown here. Make the Texans strike first. It's 7-0. Next drive for Jacksonville, we'll start with a kick return by Devin Duvernay. And Duvernay going to take this a good 36 yards or so before he's taken down. On the next play right after, Lawrence going to hand it off to Travis Etienne, and he's going to get wrapped up, and unfortunately that is going to be the end of his day. He's going to be injured as a result of that, and so Tank Bigsby will replace him. They drive down the field some more, but Cam Little's going to have to make what he can with his leg. Kicks it through, make it 7-3 Texans. On the ensuing kickoff, Dameon Pierce going to take it from the goal line, but he's going to get taken down around the 16, and unfortunately, he is now done for the day. He's going to get taken out with an injury. Dario Gunbowale will come in for him. Texans would punt, and on the next Jaguars possession, Lawrence going to try and run forward. He's going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Azeez Al-Shaair. A couple plays later, Lawrence looking and waiting patiently. Got plenty of time before he throws for Brian Thomas Jr., who dives for this catch and makes it a score. It's 10-7 Jaguars. Next Jaguars possession after the Texans punted. Lawrence in second quarter is going to run forward, going to fumble the ball on the strip sack. It's going to be picked up by Mario Edwards, who starts taking it back the other way. Nearly makes it a scoop and score. But that's all right, because one play later, Stroud going to wait, run forward, and decide, you know what, I'm taking it myself. Touchdown for the Texans. They lead 14-10. But on the Jaguars' next possession, they drive down the field. A throw for Brian Thomas Jr. is a touchdown. 17-14 Jacksonville. Next Texans possession. Stroud in shotgun, going to get wrapped up and taken down by Devon Hamilton. They'd be forced to punt. In the third quarter, Trevor Lawrence going to drop back before he runs forward, trying to get a better view. Pass nearly gets blocked, but Brian Thomas Jr. going to leap up and grab it for a touchdown. It's 24-14 Jags. Next, Houston possession. Stroud in shotgun formation. Going to try and run forward, but the defense is there to take him down. Devon Hamilton gets credited with the sack there. A couple plays into the drive after that. Stroud going to run forward. Going to get taken out from behind by Eric Armstead, who gets the sack. Very next play. Stroud dropping back. Not much time. Going to throw it for Nico Collins to his left. And Nico Collins, can he? Could he? Will he? Yes, he will. That's a touchdown to make it 24-21. But on the Jaguars' next possession, Lawrence dropping back. Plenty of time. The offense says, you got all kinds of time, man. He's going to throw for Christian Kirk, who's going to get the touchdown here to make it 31-21 Jaguars. Next possession for Houston. Ogunbowale is going to get wrapped up before he's taken down at about the 14, and unfortunately, he is now hurt. So John Mechie III going to come in on kick returns. They wouldn't be able to do anything with it, and they'd be forced to punt. Trevor Lawrence, though, going to get sacked by Jalen Peter on their next possession. So, 3rd and 18. Lawrence, less than a minute to go, going to get sacked by Azeez Al-Shaair. They'd be forced to punt. At the very end of the third quarter, Stroud looking, going to throw for Stephon Diggs. Diggs going to take this one deep, and he's going to get taken down at about the 29. We go into the fourth quarter. Stroud in the same drive, going to try and run forward. He's going to get wrapped up. Can he break free? No, he can't. Devin Lloyd's going to get credited with the sack. A couple plays later, Stroud in shotgun formation, going to try and run forward again. He's going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Devon Hamilton. So, 4th and very long. The Texans need something. A throw for Dalton Schultz, though, is not going to go where they want. Unfortunately, it's a turnover on downs. So the next Jaguars possession, though, Lawrence going to get sacked by Jalen Peter. And a couple plays after that, Lawrence going to try and run forward, but he's going to get sacked again by Jalen Peter. But they're deep in enough into Texans territory for Cam Little to get through. It's 34-21 Jaguars. Next, Texans drive. They're driving down the field with less than 5 minutes to go. Stroud looking, going to throw for Stephon Diggs yet again, who leaps up to catch this one. And Diggs is going to get them to about the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. Stroud looking and throwing for Dalton Schultz. And Schultz going to get the leaping catch here for a touchdown. They're going to go for the onside kick. Going to bounce around, but unfortunately goes into the hands of the Jaguars. So this game's over, right? Well, it's still down by 6 points. They're going to hand it off to Tank Bigsby, and Bigsby's going to fumble the ball. It's going to bounce around. It's going to go into the hands of Derek Stingley, who takes it into Jacksonville territory to about the 40-yard line. Very first play from scrimmage for them. Toss to Cam Akers. Akers going to run along the near side. He's going to fumble it, but he's going to fumble it out of bounds. Very next play after that, Stroud dropping back. Plenty of time, right? Going to try and throw for Stephon Diggs. Diggs going to get a first down and more. He gets him into goal-to-go situation. That's the good news. The bad news, though, is that now Stephon Diggs is injured. So that means John Mechie III is going to have double duty as both kick returner and as wide receiver number 2. They don't have much time. Stroud dropping back. Going to look and throw for Tank Dell, who's got the score here for the touchdown. That makes it 35-34. The Jaguars, did they get too much time? Well, they're going to get to about the 18-yard line. First play from scrimmage on this drive. Lawrence going to throw for Gabe Davis, and Davis going to get to the 49 of the Texans. But they're running out of time. 35 seconds to go. Next play, Lawrence going to throw for Brian Thomas Jr., but he can't reach up and get it. So 2nd and 10, 21 seconds to go. Lawrence breaks a tackle, keeps running forward, but he's going to get sacked by Foley Fatukasi. So, very last play, 5 seconds to go. Lawrence needs a big play here. Going to throw for Christian Kirk over the middle. He's not going to get the score, though. The Texans come away with a very close, very good victory, 35-34 over the Jags. Houston goes to 2-1, then they take on the Bills next week. Meanwhile, Jaguars drop to 1-2, and they got to take on the Colts. So that's 2 1-1 AFC South teams accounted for. What about the third, the Tennessee Titans? Well, they were down in Miami taking on the Dolphins first quarter. Nick Folk tries to get some points on the board for Tennessee, but the kick doinks off the left upright. It's no good, so we're still scoreless. On the first drive for the Dolphins, Tua looks and throws to his left for a leaping Jalen Waddle, who's going to take this one into Tennessee territory before he's finally taken down at about the 36. They wouldn't be able to score a touchdown, but Jason Sanders is going to kick for some field goal points. That'll make it 3-0 Miami. Next drive for the Titans, Will Levis going to throw to his left for Calvin Ridley, who they just signed after a few seasons with the Jaguars. He's going to get into good field position for Tennessee. That'll help to set up Will Levis connecting with him again, this time in the end zone for the touchdown. 7-3 Titans. But on the next Miami drive, Tua going to toss it to Raheem Mostert. Mostert going to take this one in for a touchdown. It's 10-7 Dolphins. Next drive for the Titans. This one's in the second quarter. Levis going to throw for Jaquan Jackson. That's Jalen Ramsey. Well, that'll help to set up Sanders getting another field goal here to make it 13-7, Dolphins having a 6-point lead. Okay, Tennessee, let's try this again. Will Levis going to look and throw to his right for DeAndre Hopkins, who dives for this one in Miami territory, gets back up and keeps running as he gets to within the 30-yard line. That'll set up some good field position for Tennessee. Very next play, Levis going to get sacked by David Long of the Dolphins. Very next play, Levis going to play action, look, wait, he's going to throw to his right for DeAndre Hopkins again for a touchdown. Makes it 14-13 Titans. Next Dolphins drive, Tua going to get wrapped up and taken down by Arden Key. They were not fooled by the play action. They'll be forced to punt. Will Levis, though, going to get sacked by David Long on their next possession. So we go into the third quarter. Jalen Waddle is going to take this pass from Tua on a leap, and he's going to get into Tennessee territory and then some. He's going to get taken down within the 30. A few plays later, Tua dropping back, decides I'm going to take it myself, runs forward, but not able to get away from T'Vondre Sweat. So that means they got to kick another field goal by Jason Sanders. Kick goes through. It's 16-14 Dolphins. Next Tennessee possession. Levis with the play action. Going to throw to his left for Calvin Ridley. Diving for it. And only had one man to beat, and he did. Can he? Could he? Will he? He will not. But he gets into a goal-to-go situation for the Titans. So, 2 plays later, toss it to Julius Chestnut. He's got the touchdown to make it 21-16. Dolphins would punt on their next drive. So, on the next drive for Tennessee, they kick the field goal right. No, it's wide right this time. Fourth quarter, Tua needs some scoring. Throw to his right for Tyreek Hill, who leaps up for this catch, and he is gone. That's a touchdown to make it 23-21. The Titans would punt on their next possession, and Braxton Berrios going to take this one from about the 30-yard line, and he's going to get into Tennessee territory. The Dolphins have been looking for their first win of the season. Could they get it thanks to this? Well, a few plays later, Tua dropping back on shotgun, trying to run forward. Harold Landry takes him down, though. Very next play, Tua going to try and throw for Devon Achane in the end zone, and Achane will not be the one to catch it. Quandre Diggs comes up with the pick. A few plays into the drive, Levis going to play action, but the defense is not fooled. David Long gets the sack. So, a few plays later, Levis going to play action, look, going to throw to his right for DeAndre Hopkins for the touchdown. That makes it 28-23. Miami needs a touchdown in order for them to take the lead. A field goal will do them no good. Braxton Berrios doing what he can. First play of the drive from scrimmage. Tua going to head it off to Raheem Mostert, who doesn't get very far. Very next play, second down. Tua in shotgun formation. He's got an open man in tight end Jonnu Smith. And Smith going to take this one into Tennessee territory. Less than a minute to go. Can Miami score here? Well, third play of the drive. Tua dropping back, but Ernest Jones sends them back into Miami territory. 2nd and 19. Tua dropping back yet again. Going to look for Tyreek Hill, and it's blocked. And that's not good for them. So, 3rd and 19, 38 seconds to go. Tua in shotgun formation, running out of time, throws for Jonnu Smith, can't complete it. 4th and 19, it's do or die time, Miami. Tua throwing for Tyreek, it's out of bounds. That's a turnover on downs, and the very next play after, Levis going to play action, going to throw for Julius Chestnut. He fumbles the ball immediately, though, and it's picked up by Javon Holland. And Holland, he's not going to be able to score. The Titans snap victory from the jaws of defeat, 28-23. They go to 2-1, and they take on the Colts in Week 6. They get a bye week next week. Miami, meanwhile, dropping to 0-3, and they got to take on the Patriots. Now for a rivalry that's bitter as heck. The New Orleans Saints and Atlanta Falcons taking each other on. Rashid Shaheed making his return from injury for the Saints. First quarter, New Orleans has the ball first. Derek Carr will drop back to try to run forward, but will be taken down by Matthew Judon, who the Falcons got in a preseason trade with the Patriots. They'll be forced to punt, and that will set up Atlanta to give to Bijan Robinson from Kirk Cousins. He's going to get that toss, but he's going to fumble the ball once he gets the first down. Paulson Adebo going to take this one and take it back the other way. He's taken down at about the 27. That gives good field position for the Saints. Derek Carr going to drop back before he throws for Chris Olave in the end zone. Unfortunately, it's an interception by Jesse Bates. Next drive for Atlanta, Cousins going to try and run forward, but he's going to fumble the ball and it's going to get recovered by Kalen Saunders for a touchdown off a scoop and score. Very next drive for Atlanta, Cousins going to throw for Bijan Robinson. Unfortunately, it's a pick right to Jordan Howden. Next drive for New Orleans, Carr in shotgun, going to try and run forward. He's going to run into lineman before he's taken down by Lorenzo Carter. So, on 3rd and 13, a few plays later, Carr going to try and move forward, but David Onyemata there to take him down. They'd be forced to punt. End of the first quarter, Kirk Cousins going to try and throw for Bijan Robinson. This time he will succeed in throwing for him, and that'll be a touchdown to make it tied up at 7. Second quarter, Carr going to drop back, looking, waiting, going to throw for Jawan Johnson, but instead he finds Jesse Bates yet again there on the defensive play. So, on that drive that Atlanta gets to now use, they're going to throw for Bijan Robinson. Kirk Cousins gets a nice connection with him to make it 14-7. On the kick return following that, Rashid Shaheed. You know him, you love him, but you don't love him if you're New Orleans and how he fumbles the ball. Matthew Judon's going to pick this one back up, and that will help to set up a Younghoe Koo field goal to make it a 17-7 lead for Atlanta. Okay, let's try this again. New Orleans, Carr going to try and run forward, but David Onyemata gets sacked, so they'd be forced to punt. Next, Atlanta drive. Kirk Cousins going to throw for Darnell Mooney, who's got the touchdown. It's 24-7 Falcons. But we're at the end of the half, and a handoff to Taysom Hill will make it a touchdown to make it 24-14 Atlanta. Third quarter, Cousins in shotgun formation decides to run forward, but he's taken down by Kalen Saunders. Unfortunately, that's not the worst news. No, the worst news is Kirk Cousins is injured on that sack. Well, they got made fun of for drafting him, but Michael Penix Jr. comes in to replace the injured Cousins. Falcons would punt on the next Saints drive. Carr going to try and run forward, but he's going to get wrapped up and taken down by Zach Harrison. So they'd be forced to punt. Next Falcons drive. Penix dropping back. Got an open man, gonna throw to him. It's Drake London who's diving for the touchdown to make it 31-14. But on the ensuing Saints drive, Carr is going to look and throw for Rashid Shaheed, who gets the touchdown there, 31-21 Atlanta. On the next drive, Algier is going to fumble this ball. It's going to get picked up by Paulson Adebo, who's fighting for every last yard he can get. A few plays into the drive, Carr going to try and run forward with it himself, but Troy Anderson there to take him down for the sack, so they just go with a Blake Groupie kick. Field goal is up, it is good, 31-24 is the score. Fourth quarter, to start the fourth quarter, toss to Bijan Robinson. Robinson, he's going to keep going, he's going to avoid a tackle. Can he go all the way? Well, he's going to avoid another one. Well, he's not going to score, but he has a very nice looking 69-yard run. And that sets up good field position for Michael Penix, who on the very next play, oh, never mind, gets sacked by Kalen Saunders. So, on the play after that, just give it to Bijan again. The mustard man. He's going to get the touchdown here to make it a 38-24 lead. Rashid Shaheed on the ensuing kick return. He's going to take it to about the 35. That's pretty good field position. Few plays into the drive, Carr going to hand it off to Taysom Hill, and Hill's got legs to run, and he's going to get into Atlanta territory. He's going to nearly get into the red zone for the Saints. So, 2 plays later, Carr dropping back, and try and look for somebody, throws for Rashid Shaheed with the touchdown, 38-31 on the ensuing kickoff return. Avery Williams dodging and weaving and zigging and zagging around the Saints defenders. That sets up good field position for Michael Penix Jr. He's going to try and run forward on this play, but unfortunately Kalen Saunders there to take him down. They'd be forced to punt. New Orleans running out of time. They're only trailing by 7. Derek Carr tries to get a better look on this throw. Unfortunately wrapped up before he's taken down by Grady Jarrett. So they got to try this again. Carr running out of time. Going to try and throw for Chris Olave, and Chris Olave on the 4th down, going to get a good catch there. Then on a 4th and 5, Carr in shotgun formation. He did it once, but he can't do it again. That pass was blocked. Looked like it was a screen pass. So Atlanta just going to try and run up the score. Connection from Penix to Pitts, and that's going to be a touchdown. Atlanta comes away with the victory, right? Well, yes, but that's not the last thing that happens, because you see Rashid Shaheed, he just came off injury, and now he's going to be injured yet again on this one. So that means the Saints going to have to rely at wide receiver on Wilson, and Williams will come in for kick and punt returns. Either way, Falcons come away with a 45-31 surefire victory against the Saints. Both teams go to 2-1. New Orleans visits Kansas City next week, while Atlanta hosts Tampa Bay. Well, the Panthers had a very embarrassing loss last week, and they're hoping this week will be different. Unfortunately for them, their opponent is not going to make that easy for them. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, who are playing on the road here. First quarter, Bryce Young in shotgun formation, going to throw for Jonathan Mingo to his left, and the connection to Mingo is great. Unfortunately, Mingo unable to hold on to the ball once he's tackled. Von Bell going to pick it up and take it back the other way into Carolina territory. That'll set up good field position for the Bengals. A toss from Burrow to Moss, and Zach Moss going to punch it in for the touchdown. Makes it 7-0 Bengals. Panthers would be forced to punt on their next drive, so on the next Bengals drive, another toss to Zach Moss, and Moss going to break one tackle, avoid a few more, and he's going to get to about the 5-yard line. That's still good field position for the Bengals, as on the very next play, Burrow going to drop back and look for an open man. Who's he going to find? T. Higgins in the corner. That's a touchdown to make it 14-0 Cincinnati. On the next Panthers kickoff return, Raheem Blackshear is going to take this one back into Cincinnati territory. Looking pretty good there, Blackshear. So, a few plays later, Young dropping back, then decides he's going to run forward. Logan Wilson there to take him down to prevent him from doing any damage. So they'll go with the Eddie Pinheiro field goal. But Eddie Pinheiro wide right on that field goal, so it's still 14-0. Next Bengals position, Burrow going to drop back and throw for Higgins. T. Higgins wide open. Can he? Could he? Will he? He will. That's a touchdown to make it 21-0. The Cincinnati Bengals take the lead. Second quarter, Bryce Young dropping back before he's sacked by Sheldon Rankins. So they'd be forced to punt. Cincinnati will drive down the field, and Burrow going to try and take it forward himself. Unfortunately, he's going to fumble the ball. It's going to bounce around, and it's going to go right into the hands of Josie Jewell, who's going to take it back the other way. So Carolina gets another chance at the ball. A few plays later, a toss to Chuba Hubbard. Hubbard going to run along the near side, but he's going to be taken down after he gets the first down, and unfortunately, that is not something Carolina needs right now. Chuba Hubbard is injured on that play, so that means they're going to rely on Miles Sanders for the running back position. A few plays later for Bryce Young, he's going to be in shotgun formation, looking, waiting, going to throw for Deontay Johnson to his right, and Johnson with the leaping catch, and he is in for the touchdown. So Carolina scores much earlier than they did last week, but it's still 21-7 on the next Bengals drive. Burrow looking and throwing for Jamar Chase, who's got his own catch, and he's going to score easily. 28-7 Cincinnati leads over Carolina. Next Panthers drive, Young in shotgun formation. Going to look for Sanders. Unfortunately, instead of Miles Sanders, he finds Geno Stone. On the ensuing drive following that pick, Burrow dropping back, tries to run forward with it himself, but Carolina gets to him. Mike Jackson with the sack. We go into the third quarter now. Burrow going to drop back deep in his own territory, going to run forward with it, but the defense there for him. Shaq Thompson gets credited with the sack. Very next play, Burrow going to drop back yet again, but this time it's Derek Brown who gets the sack on him. Play after that, it's 3rd and 20. Can the defense make it 3 in a row? Yes, they can. DJ Johnson gets the sack, so yeah, Cincinnati would punt. Blackshear going to take this one, but he's going to fumble the ball, and it's going to get picked up by the Bengals. Zach Moss. And Moss, they don't seem to be able to tackle him. He keeps slipping off of defenders. They keep trying to get right back up and tackle him, but it's not working. And Zach Moss with the scoop and score to make it 35-7 Cincinnati. Next Carolina drive. Young going to throw for Jonathan Mingo to his left, and it's a good connection here. Can he hang on with this defender coming to tackle him? The answer is yes. But that gets them into the red zone. That's all they need. Young in shotgun formation, gonna look and try to run forward with it, but Trey Hendrickson there to take him down. 3rd and 18. Young dropping back, gonna try and run forward with it yet again, but Logan Wilson there to sack him yet again. So they'll rely on Eddie Pinheiro's leg. Does it go through this time? Well, it's nearly blocked, and unfortunately for the Bengals, it doinks in this time. 35-10. On the next Bengals drive, Burrow gonna get swarmed by the Panthers. DJ Johnson takes him down. Very next play, Burrow dropping back. Plenty of time. Throwing to his left for Jamar Chase, a fellow LSU Tiger. He gets the first down and more. A couple plays later, Burrow dropping back. Looks for T. Higgins, who's got this one, and he is gone. 42-10. Cincinnati has a big lead. Eddie Pinheiro tries to lessen the lead later on in the game, but he's wide left this time instead of wide right. Very next drive, 4th quarter. Burrow throwing for Jamar Chase. Chase dives for it. He gets back up. Does he have enough speed to get into the end zone? No! He's just shy by an inch, maybe. That's all right. Just give it to Zach Moss. He'll punch it in for a touchdown. 49-10. Bengals still have a big lead. This is just playing for pride at this point. Young tries to run forward. He's going to get wrapped up before he is taken down by Sam Hubbard. So, a couple plays later, Young dropping back, looking, going to try and run forward. And unfortunately for him, this time Logan Wilson there to take him down. So, 4th and 19, the very next play. Young in shotgun formation. Going to look for Adam Thielen. He can't connect with him. Incomplete turnover on downs. Couple plays into the drive for the Bengals. Burrow gonna throw for Jamar Chase, and Chase is gone. You cannot catch him. Believe it. 56-10. Bengals have a massive lead over Carolina, but the Panthers will not give up. Jonathan Mingo gets this catch from Bryce Young, and it just looks amazing. Dodging and weaving. He's got a first down into goal-to-go territory. And a couple of plays later, handed it off to Sanders. Miles Sanders gets the touchdown, makes it 56-17. But Burrow and company, the kitty goes meow as he's going to throw for T. Higgins on this one. T. Higgins wide open. Will he get into the end zone with this? No, not quite, but that's all right because a few plays later on a 1st and goal, toss it to Zach Moss. Moss going to get the touchdown here, 63-17. Panthers going to try for one more big play, but unfortunately Young going to get swarmed by Mike Hilton and the rest of the Bengals defense, who wins 63-17. Cincinnati cruises to 3-0, but they got a big test next week. They take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, Carolina dropping to 0-3, and they got to take on the team that let them get Bryce Young in the Chicago Bears next week. Well, for a few minutes in the offseason, the Packers thought they had a dual running back tandem of Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs. Unfortunately, as soon as they signed Jacobs, Aaron Jones went to the Vikings, and now Aaron Jones wants revenge for basically having the Packers let him walk as they take on the Vikings. Jordan Love is returning for Green Bay. That's good news for the Packers. First play of scrimmage in the game. Darnold is a man in motion in shotgun formation. He's going to look and fire for Justin Jefferson, who leaps up to grab this one. Hey, they don't need Aaron Jones, but they got this guy running about, and he's going to score easily on the first play from scrimmage. That's pretty nice. 7-0 Vikings take the lead to start. Then on the ensuing kickoff, Kayshawn Nixon going to zig and zag and bob and weave his way into Minnesota territory around every member of the defense. That's pretty good for the Packers, since it'll help to set up Josh Jacobs running through, plowing through like a bulldozer. Is he going to score? No, but he gets him into good field position. And a couple plays later, Love dropping back, going to try and look and find for someone, and he's going to find Christian Watson for the touchdown, tied this game up at 7. On the next drive for the Vikings, Darnold going to play action, roll to his right. Unfortunately, Eric Stokes and the rest of the defense waiting for that. That'll send him back and force them to punt. Next Packers drive, Josh Jacobs going to get tossed the ball. He's going to break one tackle, going to avoid a few more, breaks a second, breaks a third, and 3 tackles broken, and he's in for the touchdown, 14-7 Green Bay. Next drive for Minnesota, Darnold going to try and run forward. He's got plenty of room, plenty of time. Throws for Jordan Addison. Addison going to dodge a potential tackler. That's a touchdown. Tie this game up at 14. Second quarter. Next drive for Green Bay. Love going to throw for Romeo Doubs. Doubs going to get into Minnesota territory. He's finally going to get grabbed before he's taken down at about the 24-yard line. That'll set a good field position for the Pack. Love waiting, looking, throwing for Doubs yet again. 21-14 Green Bay. Next drive for Minnesota. Sam Darnold going to get swarmed by the Green Bay defense. Quay Walker credited with the sack. But he'll keep driving down the field, and Darnold going to hand this one off to Aaron Jones. He used to be doing this against the Vikings. Now he's doing it for him. Ties this game up at 21. On the ensuing kick return, Keyshawn Nixon says, "I did it once, I'll do it again." Gets some pretty good field position for Jordan Love and Green Bay. He plays into the drive. Toss to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs going to avoid potential tackles, and he is going to get the touchdown here. It's 28-21 Pack. Next drive for Minnesota. Darnold, plenty of time, plenty of space. Going to throw for Jalen Naylor in the end zone. Unfortunately, he finds rookie Javon Bullard, the safety, instead. So on the Pack drive following this, not much time left before halftime, but they're going to give it to Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs, could he score for them here to really put the Packers up? No, but that's still a pretty good run there. On the first kickoff of the half, Keyshawn Nixon says, "Let's make it a hat trick for good returns." And so that'll set up Jordan Love dropping back and looking for Christian Watson. Wide open. Man tried to dive for it. Fortunately, he cannot be stopped here. 35-21 Green Bay. Next, Vikings drive. Darnold in shotgun formation. Got plenty of time to throw for somebody. He was going to throw for Jones. Instead, he finds Keyshawn Nixon, who takes it back the other way. And on the very next play, Love going to drop back. Plenty of time. Throws it for Luke Musgrave, who just needs to step over the line for the touchdown. 42-21 Packers. Next drive for the Vikings. Sam Darnold in shotgun formation. Going to throw for Jordan Addison to his right. Addison with a leaping catch to get into Green Bay territory and sets up good field position for Minnesota. Fortunately, not able to score a touchdown. They go for the Will Reichard field goal, but it's wide left, so it's still 42-21 Green Bay. Jordan Love dropping back before he tries to run forward. Ivan Pace going to get the sack here. A few plays later, Love going to drop back. Plenty of time going to throw for who else? Christian Watson. The two of them had a day today, and Watson going to get good field position for Green Bay to set up another potential touchdown. Love going to toss to Josh Jacobs, and Jacobs going to get the touchdown here to make it 49-21 Green Bay. Aaron Jones' revenge game is not going the way he would like. Sam Darnold going to throw for Justin Jefferson, and Jefferson going to get into Green Bay territory very easily. He's going to keep on running until he hits solid ground, or at least the end zone. He'll get taken down at about the 6, and that'll help to set up Darnold, giving it to Jones to punch it in to make it 49-28. But Green Bay in the fourth quarter says, nah, we're just going to give it to our running back and really seal this game up. Josh Jacobs gets another touchdown run to make it 56-28. On the ensuing drive for Minnesota, they need to score a lot of points very quickly, and throwing it to Jordan Addison, who's wide open, will help if he can get into the end zone. He's going to get taken down in Green Bay territory still, but that's good field position for Minnesota for Darnold to set up a good throw for Jordan Addison yet again. He's going to get the touchdown here, make it 56-35. They try for the onside kick but fail on the ensuing Packers drive. Love dropping back, going to try and move forward. Unfortunately, it's Jonathan Greenard who gets there for the sack, so they're forced to punt. 4th and 10. Darnold in his own end zone. He's got to do something with it. Going to try and throw for Naylor, and he's got the first down. That's pretty good, but they need to score. Unfortunately, they might not have enough time for this. Another 4th down, a play action roll to the right for Darnold. Going to try and throw for Aaron Jones. Jones can catch just as well as he can run, and that'll help to set up something for Minnesota to at least play for pride. Darnold waiting. Going to throw a screen pass for Aaron Jones, and Jones going to avoid the tackles. He at least gets a touchdown in the revenge game, but unfortunately, he does not get his revenge. 56-42, Green Bay comes away with the victory. They go to 2-1 next week and have to head to LA to take on the Rams. Meanwhile, Minnesota dropping to 1-2, and Sam Darnold hoping to have his own revenge game as he has to take on the team that drafted him, the New York Jets. Well, Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders used to play college football at Arizona State, and now he's returning to the state of Arizona as the Commanders take on the Cardinals. First quarter, Daniels going to hand this one off to Brian Robinson Jr., who breaks through a tackle. Can he? Could he? Will he? He will. That's a touchdown run for Brian Robinson. It's going to be 6-0 though, because Cade York's extra point got blocked by the Cardinals defense. On the ensuing kick return, Greg Dortch going to avoid some Commanders defenders as he takes it a long way around. It's a good field position for Kyler Murray. He's going to play action, look, and throw for Marvin Harrison Jr., who leaps up for this catch, and he's going to take this one into the house for a touchdown to make it 7-6 Arizona. But Cliff Kingsbury wants revenge for the team that fired him. Daniels in shotgun formation, going to throw for Scary Terry. Terry McLaurin gets the touchdown to make it 13-7. Not to be outdone in the second quarter, a throw for Michael Wilson makes it 14-13. That's all right. Washington's got Brian Robinson to break some tackles and keep on moving. That's 3 broken tackles. Might we see a 4th or more? No. We will have him taken down, but he's in Arizona territory. And a few plays later, Daniels in shotgun formation, looking, waiting, firing for Scary Terry, who's wide open for the touchdown. Makes it 20-14 on the ensuing drive for Arizona. Who's going to be the target for Murray? That's right, it's Marvin Harrison Jr., the rookie wide receiver. He's going to take this one to the 1-yard line before he's finally taken down, but that's all right, because just 2 plays later, Murray gives it to James Conner, who's got the touchdown, 21-20 Arizona. Ensuing kick return, Byron Pringle going to take this one out to about the 15 or so, and unfortunately, that's about all he's going to be doing. He is injured on this play, so that means they're going to have to rely on Jeremy McNichols for the returns. On the drive following that injury, Daniels, plenty of time, going to throw for Olamide Zacchaeus, who leaps up for this one and gets into Arizona territory. That's a pretty nice throw there from Daniels to Zacchaeus, and Daniels going to play action before he's going to throw for Brian Robinson over the middle for a touchdown. Makes it 27-21. Ensuing drive for Arizona, Greg Dortch going to try and get a good yardage with this one. Unfortunately, he is injured. And Chris Moore comes in at wide receiver, and Trey Benson will come in for returns. The Cardinals will drive down the field, and Murray going to play action before he gives a throw for Michael Wilson over the middle for a touchdown. Makes it 28-27. On the ensuing Commanders drive, Jeremy McNichols is going to fumble the ball. It's going to bounce around, but it's recovered by somebody on the Commanders. Unfortunately, they'd be forced to punt. But on the punt return, Trey Benson fumbles it, and it's going to get picked up by Sam Cosmi, the lineman, who's going to get the touchdown here for the Commanders. It's 34-28. Next drive for Arizona, Murray going to get wrapped up before Frankie Louvu. A couple plays later, Murray going to get sacked by Bobby Wagner, the former Seahawk. That defense has been upgraded from the Commanders' previous season. Daniels going to try and run forward, but Justin Jones there to get a sack on that drive. Fourth quarter, Murray in desperation mode. He's been pretty clutch before, but Mike Sanistril will prevent him from going any further. So the kick from Matt Prater, unfortunately, not long enough, but Commanders would punt. Murray going to take it for a run himself. Nearly gets in the end zone, fumbles it, bounces around, and who picks it up? Clelin Ferrell of the Commanders, who takes it to about the 20. They keep driving down the field, and Daniels tries to run forward, but Justin Jones going to get the sack. That's all right. Cade York going to try and get some more points for the Commanders, and the kick will go through 37-28. And on the final drive for Arizona, Murray tries to run forward, but Dorrance Armstrong there for the sack. Washington comes away with a 37-28 good victory. Both teams did pretty well. Both teams go to 2-1. Washington takes on Cleveland next week, and Arizona heads to San Francisco for our Week 5 Game of the Week. Caleb Williams and the Bears still looking for their first win for his career. First quarter on the kick return, Khalil Herbert. Is that Khalil Herbert or is that Devin Hester, the recently inducted Hall of Fame returner? Either way, he gets good field position for Williams and the Bears. Williams going to look and throw for his fellow rookie, Rome Odunze. And Odunze going to get the touchdown here to make it 7-0 Chicago. On the first drive for Los Angeles, Stafford in shotgun formation tries to run forward, but DeMarcus Walker there for the sack. A couple plays later, Stafford dropping back, Plenty of time, going to try and run forward to get a better view, but the defense wrapping him up before he's finally taken down by Gervin Dexter. So that means they have to rely on a Joshua Carty, would have to give them the points on the board, 7-3. Next drive for Chicago, Williams hands it off to DeAndre Swift. Swift on the move, zigging and zagging as he keeps on running, but he's going to fumble the ball, and it's going to get picked up by Tre'Davious White of the Rams. But unfortunately, they once again got to rely on Joshua Carty's leg. Kick goes on the way, and it doinks out. Bears fans probably had a heart attack hearing the word doink. Anyway, here's a touchdown pass to Rome Odunze from Caleb Williams. Rams would punt on their next drive, and on the next drive for the Bears, a pass to DJ Moore. He's got the touchdown easily, makes it 21-3. On the ensuing kick return, Blake Corum breaks a tackle. It's going to send a man flying, and he's going to run up the far side as he gets to about the 32-ish yard line. They drive down the field, and Stafford gets swarmed by Tremaine Edmonds and the rest of the Bears defense. 3rd and 20 on the same drive. Stafford looking, waiting patiently, throwing to his right for Cooper Kupp for the touchdown. 21-10 Chicago. The Bears would drive down the field, but near the end of the half, they rely on Cairo Santos' leg to make it 24-10. On the ensuing kick return, Blake Corum going to take this one. Pretty good field position for the Rams. If he could score, that would be helpful, but unfortunately, he can't before time is up. First drive of the third quarter, a throw from Stafford to Puka Nacua. Nacua running along the far sideline, and Nacua is going to get caught up, but in Bears territory. A few plays later, Stafford in shotgun formation. Looking, waiting, gonna throw patiently for Cooper Kupp to the right side of him, and Cooper Kupp's gonna score this one. Next drive for the Bears. Williams dropping back, looking. Who's he gonna find? It's Rome Odunze, his fellow rookie, and he's gonna take this one to about the 29-yard line. Pretty good field position. Very next play, Williams dropping back, gonna try and run forward, running into a lineman, trying to avoid getting sacked. Nearly does, but not before he throws this one to Rome Odunze for a touchdown to make it 31-17. Joshua Carty would try to get more points for the Rams later on, make it 31-20 now. Go into the fourth quarter. First play of the fourth quarter. Williams in Rams territory. Gonna look and throw for Rome Odunze. 4th touchdown by him. It's 38-20. Next drive for the Rams. Matthew Stafford gonna try and run forward. He's gonna get wrapped up before he's taken down by Gervin Dexter. So they keep driving down the field. Stafford in shotgun formation. Looking and throwing for Cooper Kupp. That's his 3rd touchdown of the day. Makes it 38-27. Next drive for Chicago. They're just going to put this away, but not before Kobe Turner sacks Caleb Williams. But they keep driving down the field, and Williams going to drop back, looking for an open man. Going to try and run forward, running into a lineman. Bobby Brown gets the sack on him. That's all right. Very next play, Williams going to hand this one off. No, play action to the right. Byron Young is there for the sack. So, 3rd and 26. Williams in shotgun. Running forward. Gonna get wrapped up. Nearly got off in time. Troy Reeder gonna get credited with the sack. That's all right. Just give it to Cairo Santos for the kick. Gonna make it 41-27. Regardless of the fact they didn't score the touchdown, they at least wasted enough time. The Rams can't win this one without a miracle. Stafford gonna get taken down by Montez Sweat, the former commander. We just saw his former team. A few plays later, Stafford gonna try and run forward. He's wrapped up and taken down by TJ Edwards. So, 4th down and 14. Right now, they just need something, anything to make themselves feel better. Unfortunately, that run by Kyron Williams won't do anything. The Bears give Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze their first wins. They go to 1-2. The Rams drop to 0-3. Rams get another NFC North team in the Packers next week, while the Bears got to take on Carolina. Aaron Rodgers, about 3 years ago, claimed that he owns the Bears. He still owns them. Well, now he's going to try and own the Patriots in this rivalry game. Braylon Allen coming back for New York, so that's good for them. First quarter, Gibson on the kick return, going to break a tackle or two, going to avoid some more, and he's going to keep on rolling as he gets to about the 37 or so. They keep driving down the field, got to rely on Greg Zerlane's leg to kick the field goal here to make it 3-0. On the first drive for the Patriots, Jacoby Brissett going to toss this one to Ramondre Stevenson, who barrels through for a touchdown, 7-3 New England. Next drive for New York, Rodgers dropping back, Gonna throw for Garrett Wilson, who's gonna get the touchdown here, make it 10-7 Jets. On the next Patriots drive, they drive down the field in the second quarter. Joey Sly's kick, wide left. Commanders fans know how that feels. On the next drive for New York, Rodgers dropping back before he throws for Garrett Wilson, wide open for the touchdown, makes it 17-7 Jets. Patriots would punt on their next drive, and at the end of the second quarter, Rodgers going to throw for Garrett Wilson yet again, who's wide open. He is not going to be caught this time. That's a touchdown for the Jets. Make it 24-7. On the next drive for New York, which is in the third quarter, a toss for Breece Hall gets the touchdown, makes it 31-7 on the ensuing kick return. Marcus Jones gonna zig and zag around some of the defenders as he's gonna get into New York territory, or at least just outside of it. That's the good news. The bad news is that unfortunately he is now injured, so the Patriots going to have to rely on Antonio Gibson for their return plays. Patriots would drive down the field. Jacoby Brissett going to look and throw for Hunter Henry, who's going to get the touchdown here. That makes it 31-14. Fourth quarter for the Patriots, they need points and they need them quick. Handoff to Ramondre Stevenson, who barrels through a few defenders on his way to another touchdown, makes it 31-21. Jets still have a 10-point lead. But Rodgers, he is not going to let the Patriots clutch him out of a victory. This throw for Mike Williams is a touchdown, makes it 38-21. But the Patriots aren't necessarily out of it just yet. Brissett going to toss it to Ramondre Stevenson, and Ramondre going to get the touchdown here, makes it 38-28. But Greg Zuerlein going to try and give the Jets some more points to really add on. Makes it 41-28. Patriots need to score, and they need to score quick. Brissett in shotgun formation. Going to throw for Demario Douglas for the touchdown here, make it 41-35. They need to get this onside kick, but unfortunately they give it right to Garrett Wilson. And Wilson, he might take this all the way to the house. No, he will not. But that's all right. Aaron Rodgers says, I'm just going to give this one off to Breece Hall. Breece Hall going to dodge around the defenders for a touchdown. The Jets come away with a decisive victory over the Patriots, 48-35. New York goes to 2-1, and they got to take on Minnesota next week in Minnesota. Meanwhile, the Patriots dropping to a characteristic 0-3 for what people were expecting, and they take on Miami next week. Now for a game that we were expecting to be good no matter how well these teams will end up in the end of the season. It's the Bills taking on the Ravens. First quarter, Josh Allen dropping back, got plenty of time, plenty of open space to throw for Keon Coleman, and Keon Coleman is going to take this one into Baltimore territory for a first down. Pretty good field position to set up for Josh Allen, who drops back yet again. Going to throw this time for Mac Hollins, and instead he finds Marlon Humphrey. So instead the Ravens get their first chance with the ball. Jackson going to play action, roll to his right. Going to look for an open man. He's going to throw for Rashad Bateman, but he gives it right back, this time to Rasul Douglas. On the ensuing drive, Allen goes down the field, and then Allen going to look for James Cook, and he's going to find him for the touchdown, make it 7-0. On the next drive, Jackson going to play action, roll to the right, and he's going to throw for Zay Flowers. He's got the touchdown here, ties this game up at 7. Next drive for Buffalo. Allen dropping back, looking for an open man. Going to try and throw for Keon Coleman, the rookie, yet again, and Coleman going to get the touchdown? No, he's just shy of it. A couple plays later, though, Allen gonna give this one off to James Cook, who runs it in for the touchdown, make it 14-7. Next drive for the Ravens. We're in the second quarter, by the way. Jackson going to hand this one off to Derrick Henry. King Henry will not be stopped. He's got the touchdown there to tie this game up at 14. Next drive for Buffalo. Allen gonna look and throw for Keon Coleman yet again, and he connects with him here to get into Baltimore territory. Really gonna drive up some pain on the Ravens right now. A couple plays later, Allen looking. Who's he going to find? Keon Coleman. And Keon Coleman's going to score this time, make it a 21-14 lead for Buffalo. Next drive for Baltimore. They're running out of time in the second quarter. Jackson running out of time before he gets sacked. And a throw for Rashad Bateman instead finds Christian Benford. So Buffalo gets more points with this if they can succeed in the drive. Allen, a couple plays later, going to try and run forward, but he's going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Nnamdi Madubuike. So the Bills got to force a kick for a field goal, and kick goes through thanks to Tyler Bass, make it 24-14. Less than a minute left to go in the second quarter. Ed Oliver's going to sack Lamar Jackson. That's going to end the quarter, essentially. Third quarter, Allen looking, throwing for Curtis Samuel over the middle, and Samuel is going to get into good field position, but he's going to fumble the ball. It's going to get picked up by Kyle Hamilton of Baltimore. He's taking it back into Buffalo territory. So the Ravens got a good stop there. Good, because they're trailing by 10 and they need some points. Jackson going to run forward, avoid some potential defenders, dodging and weaving, and says, you know what, I'll just score with it myself for the touchdown. 24-21, Buffalo has lead still. Josh Allen in shotgun formation, looking, going to throw for Keon Coleman. Coleman going to get to about the 10 and taken down at about the 6-yard line. That's all right. Very next play, Allen dropping back, looking, going to try and run forward, but he's going to get wrapped up. Will he get taken down? No, he breaks free and throws for Mac Hollins for a touchdown. Makes it 31-21. Jackson in shotgun formation deep in Buffalo territory. He's going to get sacked by Teron Johnson. A couple plays later, 1st and goal. Jackson going to hand this one off to King Henry, who's going to plow through the defenders for a touchdown. 31-28. Next Buffalo possession, Allen dropping back, throwing for Mac Hollins, but he fumbles the ball on the tackle. Roquan Smith going to pick it up. This is the 4th quarter, by the way. He is driving through defenders, pulling them towards the end zone. Jackson going to hand this one off to King Henry for the touchdown. Makes it 35-31, but Buffalo will not give in to despair. Allen going to try and run forward. Going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Travis Jones. That's all right. Very next play, Buffalo can do something with it, right? Well, not if Nnamdi Madubuike gets to him. They keep driving down the field, though. Allen, less than 4 minutes to go. Looking and throwing for Curtis Samuel. He's got the touchdown. It's 38-35, but Baltimore might have too much time. Jackson tries to run forward. Unable to. Very next play, Jackson going to get the hand of the ball, and this time he will get the first down. Holds onto it safely. Next play, Jackson. We're less than 2 minutes to go. Play action. Roll this right. Throwing is for Mark Andrews. Andrews going to get taken down just shy of at 1st and goal territory. So, Jackson, shotgun formation. Looking for an open man. Throws to his left for Rashad Bateman. Deflected. Very next play. Man in motion for Baltimore. Jackson going to hand this one off. No. Play action. Roll to his right. Going to throw for Zay Flowers. Flowers in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Buffalo, you've got one more chance. Can you do something with it? Allen gonna look and throw. He's gonna find Keon Coleman. So he will, but Baltimore stops him before they can get anywhere with it. The Ravens in a close come-from-behind victory win, 42-38. They head to Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, Buffalo dropping to a surprising 1-2, and they have to head to Houston to take on the Texans. And finally, we finish up with the only battle between two undefeated teams this week as the Seahawks are in the Motor City to take on the Detroit Lions. First quarter, Jared Goff going to play action, roll to his right. Who's he going to look for? It's supposed to be Jameson Williams. Instead, he finds Tariq Woolen, who's going to take this back into Detroit territory. But he's going to fumble the ball, and it's going to get recovered by Graham Glasgow? Well, that's good for Detroit, I guess. They're going to throw for Samuel Laporta for the touchdown here. Make it 7-0 Lions on the ensuing kickoff. Laviska Shenault. He's going to take this one pretty decently. And unfortunately, that's going to be all he's going to do. He's going to get injured on this play. So that means for kick returns, they're going to go with Kenny McIntosh. On the first drive that the Seahawks really get from scrimmage, throw for DK Metcalf. Metcalf already into Detroit territory, gets into the red zone for him before he's finally taken down at about the 18 or so. That's alright, because Geno Smith going to hook up with DK Metcalf for a touchdown, ties this game up at 7. Next drive for Detroit. Goff, looking, waiting, going to throw for Jameson Williams. This time it's a connection, and this time he will hold on to the ball rather than anyone fumbling it. That's a pretty good throw there. And Goff, a few plays later, going to throw for Jahmyr Gibbs on a screen, and he's going to get the touchdown. 14-7 Lions. Next Seahawks drive. Geno Smith dropping back. Going to try and run forward, but he's taken down by Jack Campbell. A couple plays later, Smith dropping back yet again. Looking, going to try and run forward, running into defenders. Jack Campbell there with another sack. So, very next play, Smith dropping back. Looking for an open man, going to get taken down by Alan McNeil. They would be forced to punt. Second quarter, Goff and the Lions on the move. He's going to play action, roll to his right. Who's Goff going to look for? Nobody. He's going to take it himself for the touchdown, make it 21-7 Lions. Next Seahawks drive. Smith dropping back. looking. Got to find someone open. Going to try and throw for Tyler Lockett, and Lockett dives for this one. He's going to get right back up, though, because there's no defenders near him. Can he? Could he? Will he? He will. 21-14. Lions still have a lead, but Seahawks have life in him. Goff going to throw for Jameson Williams yet again. Jameson Williams has been a favorite target for Goff today, and Williams is going to get to about the 1.5. Plays later, Goff going to hand this one off to David Montgomery, who's basically going to bulldoze his way through for a touchdown. 28-14. Next drive for Seattle. Smith going to try and run forward, but he's going to get wrapped up, and then he's taken down by Alan McNeil again. So, a couple plays later, Smith going to toss this one to Zach Charbonnet. He's not getting anywhere, and unfortunately, he will be going somewhere, and that is to the locker room. He is injured on this play. So that means Kenny McIntosh now coming in at running back as well. 3rd and 6. This is right after Zach Charbonnet just got injured. Throw for Jackson Smith-Njigba, who got the leaping catch here. And Smith-Njigba is on his way to the end zone. Or he would if he didn't get taken down about 2 yards short. That's all right. Smith going to hand this one off to McIntosh for a touchdown. 28-21. Next Lions drive. Goff going to play action, roll to his right, avoid a potential tackle, gonna throw for Jameson Williams, who dives for it, but instead he finds Devin Witherspoon. But that's alright, the Seahawks would punt and the Lions would get the ball back. Goff going to look and throw for Jameson Williams yet again. That's their 3rd hookup for a touchdown today. Yet another hookup between the two today. 35-21 Lions. Smith tries to get out of something, but Aiden Hutchinson is just a physical beast. 4th quarter, Jared Goff in shotgun. Plenty of time, throws for Samuel Laporta, who just bobs and weaves for a touchdown. Make it 42-21. 3rd and 6. Smith looking. Gonna throw for DK Metcalf. That's Kirby Joseph who picks him off. So, a few plays later, Goff going to seal this away with a Samuel Laporta touchdown, makes it 49-21. On the ensuing kickoff, Kenny McIntosh. He's got some big shoes to fill, and unfortunately, he is done filling them for the day. Now he's injured on this one. So that means D. Williams is going to come in at running back. And for returns, Jake Bobo will come in for him at the kick returning position. Smith going to throw for DK Metcalf to try and get something out of this. Maybe they can get a miraculous comeback of some kind going, but not if he gets stopped short, and certainly not if he fumbles the ball. It's going to get picked up by Kirby Joseph, and Joseph is going to take this back the other way. Nearly a scoop and score as he gets into Seattle territory. And Goff, yeah, he's going to seal this one up, but Jerome Baker's going to take him down. 3rd and long. Goff going to run forward. Seahawks defense gets to behind him. Byron Murphy gets the sack on him. So Jake Bates kick on the way. And it's good. So 52-21. Are we done here? Well, Geno Smith, you have one big play left in you before we end off with the results today. No, Marcus Davenport's got it. So the Lions come away staying undefeated 52-21. They go to 3-0. They take on Dallas in week 6 because they have a bye week next week. Meanwhile, Seattle drops to 2-1. But they have what might be considered a breather, as next week they take on the team that Dallas just beat, the New York Giants. This was certainly an exciting week of football. Several games that were 1-score or 2-score games, but we do have to give out a Player of the Week before we sign off for you this week. And for this week's Player of the Week, I'm going to be nice and give it to the rookie, Caleb Williams, getting his first career win in a decisive victory over the LA Rams. Caleb, in his victory over the Rams, threw 17 completions off 18 attempts. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But even more impressive, he threw for 430 yards. That's over 25 yards per completion for 5 touchdowns, 4 of which were to Rome Odunze. And that gave him a passer rating of 158.33. In addition, he had 1 single run for 9 yards. But I think the passing stats more than prove that he is worthy of the Player of the Week award. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Tecmo Rewind. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm your host, Joe, saying good night, everybody!